Well, Julius, you're going to like this because we're not worried about the politics behind it. We've all discussed it, and we want to push this forward. And we know we're probably going to get some feedback, but we're welcoming that feedback. And via positive or negative, we're happy to be doing it with you. Like, let's say that because you have the medical research behind it. We're not going into this blind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Sure.
we'd be ignorant ourselves because we take pride in offering the most quality product. I mean, from our distillate being double passed
Mm-hmm.
to our edibles being made in a food grade facility, we want everything to be superior. Even that, your Eybna line of what we are making in carts, we're moving into the AVD ceramic carts with a natural hemp tip. So that way it's a full flavor. Does it cost a little bit more? Yes. Does our Eybna line cost a little bit more than our other line that we utilize? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because we're using something. But when we move in this direction, let's talk about
Value.
actually, Jason, I got to ask you though, we had just conversation about terpenes used in the medical industry. You said, yes, they have to be botanical,
Right.
but they could be from any company that's claiming to make botanical terpenes then.
Absolutely. And like one of the big problems that the Pennsylvania medical industry had was they had a huge recall on all of their vape activated batteries or like cartridges, disposables, pods, anything like that, because it was found that there were several major players in this field that were utilizing like food grade terpenes. And there was zero research on what effect a food grade terpene had when you inhaled it into your lungs. So like there are certain companies that are still pushing for the entourage effects and terp profile means everything. It's not just all about the THC, which I'm personally a firm believer in that thought process. But I think like the main thing that comes back to it is like, well, what constitutes a safe and healthy terpene versus something that shouldn't be smoked and might not be as high quality, and where is that difference at?
That's a good question. I mean, all of this stems from, wanting to keep the public safe, and really the heart of it was essentially bad actors years ago, and a lot of people in this cannabis industry have heard of and know about VapeGate. Now, VapeGate, there's a lot of research going on with that, and the initial finger pointing came from the input of terpenes. Now, after more research, it came to light that vitamin E acetate was one of the culprits. But to be clear, vitamin E acetate was being used as essentially a cutting agent. So in a perfect world, you've got a 95% THC. I'm sorry, you have like as pure of a THC distillate that you have, or whatever THC product, and 95% of your 1 gram part is that. And then the other 5% is essentially your terpene profile, let's say. Well, because of viscosity reasons, because of trying to make more money reasons, whatever the case may be, people are using these cutting agents, and some of them landed on vitamin E acetate. Others actually landed on a terpene that's called phytol. Phytol is actually very safe and has a lot of therapeutic benefits that are well researched, but at a 5% or less kind of concentration in that whatever particular product. They were using phytol as like essentially the entire cutting agent, bringing that way up into like the 25, 30, 50% range, and that's when these products can become unsafe. That being said, a lot of these other questions are about purity, and even though all of our terpenes are only and always all natural, we do purify them to at least 98% purity. And just to hit on that topic, it's impossible for an all natural product to be 100% pure. That's only for the synthetics, and the synthetics is another question altogether. So yeah, and I'd be happy to tell you what those other 2% impurities are, which we've tested a lot as well.